This session is all about fun math, and effectively, what I want you to all learn from this session is not the solutions, but the approach to each of the problems. Uh, Problems could be different. What you face in your school, in your exams, could be very different from what you see in your textbooks, right? Or what you do in class. So, what's more important is that you understand what the approach is. Okay, so let's start. A plus B plus C is equal to D, and A into B into C is D. So what's A, B, C, and D? And this is a simple one to begin with. All right, so the answer is yes. It's A equals 1, B equals C, and C equals, A equals 1, B 2, and C 3. And well, actually it can be in any order, it doesn't matter. B could be 1, A could be 2, and C could be 3 as well, because the solution would still satisfy the conditions here, the two conditions that we've given. So one of the numbers is 1, the other number is 2, and the third number is 3. And what would be the sum of these numbers? D is 6. Yes, Tanya, that's correct. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, and 1 times 2 times 3 is also 6. Can you think of any other number that would satisfy this? Okay, take this as homework. Can you think of any other solution that would satisfy? By the way, there are multiple solutions where A is not equal to B is not equal to C is not equal to D. There are multiple solutions, and if you can come up with an alternate solution, then it will be great to hear what that alternate solution is. Okay, all right, moving on. Next question. Okay, this is a simple one again. Let's see how many of you get this right. Count the number of squares in this figure. So I see one large square and I see some smaller squares within. So what is the total number of squares? This is a simple question, by the way. This is one square. Let's just count, okay, manually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. So these are the smaller square, or let's just say that the side of the small square is 1. So there are 9 1 by 1 squares here. Everyone agrees with me, or is there anyone who doesn't agree with me? Is there anyone who doesn't agree that there are 9 1 by 1 squares? Okay, so those are 9 squares. Now let's count the number of 2 by 2 squares, because there are 2 by 2 squares as well. So this is 1 and this is 2. I can see 1, this is 1 2 by 2 square, then this is the second one. And if I take the bottom two sides, I get one more square here. And then if I take these two bottom two sides, I get one more square. So if I count the number of 2 by 2 squares, there are 4 2 by 2 squares. Does everyone agree with me? Okay, so 9 1 by 1 squares and 4 2 by 2 squares. How many 3 by 3 squares are there? Everyone agree that there is only one 3 by 3 square? Answer is 9 plus 4 plus 1. And what does that give us? 14. Okay, look, it's not important to get the answer right. What's more important is to take the right approach and arrive at the solution. Because look, I can ask you more tricky questions. I can just, for example, I can ask you how many squares are there on a chessboard, and what would you do then? Can someone tell me how many squares are there on a chessboard? That's a 8 by 8 square, by the way. So why don't you all take it as homework? How many squares are there on a chessboard? And that's your question. And by the way, if you start counting it, just like the way we did right now, it's gonna probably take us all day. So there has to be a simpler approach, which I will teach you later, not in this class, but in a later class, what the approach could be. This is a simple one, a 3 by 3 square. and the total number of squares here are 9 plus 4 plus 1, which is 14. Okay. Okay, what if I asked you a simpler one? What is the number of squares in a 2 by 2 matrix? In a 2 by 2 square? If you just considered this part, just this portion, what is the total number of squares? 4 plus 1, which is 5. Okay, so that's the right approach. So we will come back to the question which is on 4 by 4 square, and we will take a crack at it at a later point in the class. Okay, so let's move on to my next question, and this is a simpler one. So each object here that you see, whether it's an apple or an orange, corresponds to a number. So who can tell me how much is an apple and an orange equal to? If you add an apple and an orange, what is that equal to? This is very easy. Let's see who gets it first. It's simple. So again, as I said, what I like in math is taking the right approach, and the right approach is also always the simplest approach. Okay, so let's go stepwise. We've got 2 apples here. 2 apples is equal to 8. So how much is 1 apple? 4, right? 1 apple is 4. And if my apple is equal to 4, and then apple plus watermelon is equal to 10, then apple is equal to 10 minus 4, and that is 6. So watermelon is 6. So what you have to do is either remember this the way I am remembering it mentally, or you just write it down. As simple as that. Take a pen and paper and write it down. Apple is equal to 4. Okay. And a watermelon is 6. All right. So now step number 3. If my watermelon is 6, and 6 plus orange is equal to 9. So how much is an orange? 9 minus 6. So that gives me 3. So my orange is 3. So apple is 4, watermelon is 6, and orange is 3. And then I've got an apple here and an orange. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Does that sound simple to you? Okay. All right. I think everyone finds it simple. So in such questions, it's very important that all the conditions are satisfied. Not have, just a few conditions that are getting satisfied. Okay, so next one. Okay, coming back to this interesting surface, what we want to calculate is the total surface area of this object. So I'll give you 30 seconds to take a shot at it, and then I will explain you what the answer is. As a hint, I just want to tell you one thing. You have to visualize the whole 3-dimensional surface. It's not just the surface that you see on the screen, but you have to visualize the whole 3 dimensions of this surface, of this object. Think about the surfaces that you don't see on the screen. It's very easy to calculate the total surface area of what you see on the screen. Okay, Drushin, the question is, calculate the total surface area of this object. Eyes on screen, please. Okay, so what we are going to do is break this object into smaller bits so that it's easy for us to calculate the surface areas. Okay, and let's first list down how many surfaces are there so that we can count the surfaces, and then we will calculate the surface area of each surface and then add all of those up, and that will give us the answer. Sounds easy? Okay, all right, let's do it. So let's begin with this square. So what is the side of the square? Anyone? Rushin says 2, Tanya says 1. Okay. All right. So if this length, which is given to you, is 2, right? So this length also is 2, and this is a square, right? So if this is 2, then this length also has to be 2. So the side of this inner square here is 2. How many such squares do we have? 2, correct. Okay. No, Srirak, I think we've got 2 here, 1 and 2. We've got 2 such squares here. Okay, Bhavya also says 2. Rushika says 2. Yes. So we've got 2 squares here, which are 2 by 2. So what is the area on the back side? Yes, we will come to the back side later, Srirak. We're only talking about the ones on the front here. Ones on the back side are different squares, and I will explain it to you why. So I've got 2 by 2 square here. What is the area of a 2 by 2 square? 4. Okay, everyone agrees, everyone knows the area of a square. It's side into side. So side here is 2. So 2 into 2 is 4. The area of one square is 4. So what is the area of 2 squares? So 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay. So I believe everyone, each one of you has got a pen and paper. Please follow this with me so that it becomes easy for you to understand. Without a pen and paper, there is not much math that you can do. If you just look at the screen and follow what I'm saying, you're gonna be confused. And very soon, everything will sound gibberish to you. All right, so get a pen and paper if you don't have one already. I'm gonna repeat this. I'm starting with the inner squares. The side of each square is 2. So the area of one square is 2 into 2, which is 4. And I have 2 such squares. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So the area of these 2 squares is 8. Now let's look at these surfaces here. This surface is the same as this surface. Okay? Because the height here is 2 and the breadth, what is the breadth? It's 1. Okay, so I've got 2 surfaces here, which are rectangles with side 2 and breadth 1. So what is the area of this rectangle? Well, Srirak is getting a little desperate for the answer, but you will have to wait for it. I can't give you the answer yet. Okay, the area of 1 is equal to 2. That's correct. So I've got 2 such surfaces. So 2 plus 2 is 4. All right. So let's just track it down. I'm going to also note it down on a sheet of paper so that I can track it along with all of you. So for the smaller squares, the total area is 2 into 2, which is 4 times 2, and that's 8. And for the rectangles, the area is 2, and I've got 2 such. So the total area is 4. Okay. Now let's look at this L-shaped figure on the top. Okay, and to calculate the area of this L-shaped figure, what I'm going to do is break it up into 2. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line here. Can someone tell me what is the length of this side? All eyes on the screen. Can someone tell me what is the length of this side? Okay, Srirak says 3. Anyone else? Pratik says 2. No, it's not 2. Right. So this inner line, this inner side is 2. And this side is 1. So if I extend it here, I have to add one more. So this is 2 plus 1, 3. So the length of this side is 3. Does everyone agree with me? Okay, Dhruv, L shape here. So this side is 2 and this smaller side is 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So the length of this long side is 3. And what is the breadth here? Can someone tell me what is the breadth? It's 1, correct. So the area of this surface, this rectangle, if I break up my L shape into 2 rectangles, if I draw a line here, it becomes 1 rectangle of side 3 and breadth 1. So the area is 3. And what is the area of this smaller rectangle? The side is 2. All right, this side it's 2 length and the breadth is 1. So 2 into 1 is 2. So 3 plus 2 gives me 5. Okay. Now, if you think about everyone, just close your eyes and visualize this object in 3 dimensions. If there is an L-shaped surface here at the top, is there an L-shaped surface at the bottom as well? How many think that there is an L-shaped surface at the bottom also? Is this clear to everyone? Okay. What we did, just to repeat, what we did with this L shape is we broke it up into 2 rectangles. All right. One is a rectangle of side 3 and breadth 1. The other one is a rectangle of side 2 and breadth 1. So the total area of this L shape is 5. And then we have a similar L-shaped figure, L-shaped surface at the bottom. So 5 plus 5 is 10. Okay. All right. Now I've covered the square surfaces on the front, rectangles on the side, and then the L shape at the bottom. So what is left now? So who can tell me what's left? Anyone? Is there anything left, or this is it? This is the answer if I add up whatever I've calculated so far. Okay, Krutik. Wait, let me unmute you. Yes, please, go ahead.
Sir, is it behind?
There is
Behind
correct, right? So there is this surface behind which we're not able to see in the figure here, but it definitely is there. And what is the shape of this? Can someone tell me what is the shape of the figure on the back side? Yes, Krutik. What do you think is the shape? Okay, Tanya says
it's an L.
It's an L. No, so let's just think about it like this, right? There are two, let's say it's a wall. So there is one wall which is on this side, and then there's another wall which is on this side. Okay, there are two walls. And what is the shape of these walls? Well, it's simple. The height is 2. The height has to be 2, right? Because if this is 2, the height of this side is also going to be 2. And what is the breadth? If you remember, in the calculation of our L shape, we calculated this length here. And what was that length? It was 3. So the dimensions of the wall on the back side are 2 into 3. So what is the area? It's a rectangle, it's not a square, because the sides are 2 and 3. So the area is 6. 2 into 3 is 6. And what are the dimensions of the other wall here on this side? Is it the same as 2 and 3? Okay, Khushi says it's 6. So yeah, so it's 2 and 3, right? Because this length again is 3 and the height is 2. So 2 3s are 6. So I've got 2 walls with area of 6. So that is 12. So I've written down the areas of each of these surfaces. Okay, and I'm going to tell it to you again. So the area of these squares is 4 each, and then combined the area of these 2 squares is 8, and then the rectangles on the side, the area of this is 2 and the area of this is also 2, so 2 plus 2 4. Okay, and the third surface is this L-shaped surface. The area of this surface is 5, and then the area of the surface at the bottom is also 5, so that makes it 10. And then finally, I've got a rectangle on the back side, the area of which is 6, and I've got 2 such walls, so the total area is 12. So my answer is 8 plus 4 plus 10 plus 12. So what does that give me? 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 10 is 22, and 22 plus 12 is how much? 22 plus 12? 0204, no, Kaushal, that's not right. That's 34. Okay. All right. So how many of you got it wrong? Everyone, right? The whole class got it wrong. Was it difficult? And that's all there is in this figure. There are just squares and rectangles. There is nothing complicated here. All I have done is given you a 3-dimensional figure which has squares and rectangles. and all you have to do is break it up into smaller squares and rectangles and calculate the area. That's it. Okay, and Kaushal says, please explain surface of area. Okay, so Kaushal, do you know the, okay, I'm gonna do this one last time, and then if you have any questions, Kaushal, you can reach out to us separately. So in this figure, the question is to calculate the total surface area, and the total surface area is, think about all the area that you can see here in the front, this rectangle, this square, the L shape at the top. Similarly, you have an L shape at the bottom. And then you've got two walls on the back side. One is on this side and the other one is on this side. Okay. And what are you doing here effectively is you're just breaking this up for our mathematical calculations into smaller surfaces so that we can calculate what the total area is. So in step one, what I did was I considered the easiest surfaces here, which are these two squares. I know the side of each, the side of this square is 2. So I calculate the area of these two squares. Next, I move on to this rectangle. I know the length is 2. And this side here, the smaller side is 1 because this side is same as this side. Okay. So I know the area of this rectangle. Similarly, I have two such rectangles here. Then I look at this L shape here at the top and I break it up into two rectangles. One is the longer one and the other is the shorter one. So the length of the long rectangle is 3 because I've got side of 2 and then 1, which is this small side. So 2 plus 1 is 3 and the side is 1. All right, the breadth is 1. And for the smaller one, it's 2 into 1. So I calculate the area of this L shape. Similarly, I have an L shape at the bottom. And the last one, I come to something which I don't see on the screen, which is the wall on the back side. So the height is 2 and the length, the longer side, is 2 plus 1. Okay, means 2 into 3. Yes, that's correct. Okay, and similarly, I've got one more wall here. What I do is I add up all the areas. So 8 plus 4 plus 10 plus 2, and that gives me 34, which is the answer, which none of you in the class got it. So you're all gonna give me some chocolates, okay, because I got it right. Okay, let's move on to the next one now. Okay, so what I want you to do is look at the screen, look at this object here, and this is your homework. I want all of you to just note down. I want you all to note down the dimensions